All right, let's talk about the kiwi fruit, that fuzzy little green thing in your fruit bowl. We all think we know it, right? Just a tasty, tangy snack. But what if I told you there's way more going on under that skin? We're going to dive into its amazing health benefits, but also we need to talk about some pretty surprising and, yeah, sometimes serious risks.
I mean, seriously. What if this thing is less like a simple fruit and more like a sophisticated biochemical tool in disguise? That's the lens we're using today. We're looking at how this fruit can literally change how our bodies work, for the good and sometimes for the bad.
First things first, though, to really understand the kiwi, we got to know where it came from. And trust me, its story's probably not what you're expecting. Way back, it was just a wild fruit growing in China, and they called it Mai Ho Tao. Fast forward to 1904, some seeds make their way over to New Zealand. But it's not a star yet. It took until the middle of the 20th century for someone to have a brilliant marketing idea. Let's rebrand it. Let's call it the kiwi fruit. And boom, it just took off. It became this global superstar, a perfect example of what we now call a functional food. Food that actually does something for your health. Okay, so enough with the history lesson. Let's get to the good stuff. What is actually in this thing that makes it such a powerhouse? It's time to peel back the skin and look at the hard data. So the first thing that just jumps off the page is the vitamin C. I mean, look at this. In just one 100-gram kiwi, which is basically one big one, you get more than 100% of the vitamin C you need for the entire day. That's just wild. And to put that into perspective, think about oranges. We're always told, eat your oranges for vitamin C, right? Well, check this out. The kiwi doesn't just beat the orange, it completely crushes it. We're talking almost double the vitamin C. It's not even a contest. But wait, there's more. It's not a one-trick pony. Kiwi is hiding all sorts of other goodies. You've got a huge dose of vitamin K that's super important for your blood and your bones. Then there's a solid hit of dietary fiber, potassium, folate. I mean, this thing is a legit nutritional Swiss Army knife. All right, so we know what's in it, but the real question is, what does all that stuff do when we eat it? How does it actually help our bodies? Well, we can really break it down into three main jobs. Let's call them its master functions. Let's kick things off with digestion, because this is where the kiwi has a secret weapon, something you just don't find in most other fruits. It's an enzyme called actinidin. Now, that might sound complicated, but all you need to know is it's an enzyme that dissolves protein. And that little fact is the key to one of the kiwi's biggest superpowers. It's like this incredible double whammy for your gut. First, you've got that actinidin enzyme jumping in and helping to break down proteins from your meal. Think steak, chicken, cheese. That's what helps you feel less bloated and heavy after eating. But at the exact same time, its special fiber blend gets to work, adding bulk and, keeping things moving. This dual action approach is why it's so much more effective than just popping a fiber pill. And it doesn't stop with your stomach. Kiwi acts like a guardian for your whole system. All that vitamin C we talked about, it supercharges your immune cells, making them better at fighting off bugs. And what about your heart? Man, the benefits here are stunning. We're talking studies showing it can lower blood pressure, help prevent blood clots, and even bring down triglycerides. That's a nasty fat in your blood. It's just working everywhere. Okay, at this point, you're probably thinking, wow, kiwi is a miracle fruit. I'm going to eat it every day. And I get it. But, and please listen closely here, this is a huge but. It is absolutely not for everyone. We have to talk about the other side of the coin, the risks. Seriously, I want you to think of this next part as the user manual. You wouldn't use a power tool without reading the safety warnings, right? Same thing here. Because if you ignore this stuff, the consequences can be genuinely serious. So, number one, allergies. And this is where things get really interesting and kind of weird. A kiwi allergy is actually pretty common, but the crazy part is how it's often connected to things that have nothing to do with food. Like if you have a latex allergy or an allergy to birch pollen, your body can get confused and think the proteins in a kiwi are the same thing, and bam, you get an allergic reaction. It's a real thing called latex fruit syndrome or pollen food syndrome. Next, let's talk about something called oxalates. They're just natural compounds in lots of plants, and for most of us, no big deal. But if you're someone who is susceptible to getting kidney stones, you need to be careful. The oxalates in kiwi can actually contribute to forming those stones. So if that's you, moderation is definitely the name of the game.
Okay, this next one is absolutely crucial. If you or anyone you know is on the blood thinner warfarin, please pay attention. Warfarin's entire job is to stop your blood from clotting too much. But remember all that vitamin K in kiwi? Well, vitamin K's job is to help your blood clot. You see the problem? They are literally fighting against each other. Eating kiwi can make that vital medication less effective, and that is an incredibly dangerous situation.
And the list of warnings continues. That blood pressure lowering effect we loved? If you're already on meds for high blood pressure, the kiwi can push it too low. Dangerous. That high potassium? If you're on ACE inhibitors, that combination can lead to dangerously high potassium levels. And finally, get this. Because kiwi has its own blood-thinning properties, you absolutely have to stop eating it for at least 2 weeks before you have any kind of surgery. Okay, deep breath. We've seen the incredible benefits, and we've seen some pretty scary risks. So what's the takeaway? What's the final verdict on the kiwi fruit? Well, here's what the experts generally agree on. For the average healthy person, someone without these specific conditions we've talked about, eating 1 or 2 kiwis a day is a fantastic, safe, and really effective way to improve your health. But here's the bottom line. The one thing I really want you to remember, the kiwi fruit isn't just a fruit. It's a functional food, and you have to treat it with that level of respect. It means you have to be smart, you have to know your own body, your own health profile, and weigh those amazing benefits against the very real risks that might apply specifically to you. In the end, it really is a personal calculation. We started by asking if it was a sophisticated biochemical tool in a fuzzy disguise. And I think the answer is, yeah, it kind of is. So now that you know its secrets, the real question is, for you, will the kiwi fruit become your new secret weapon?